見ていいのは僕だけだってことだな、イリド。
My stepmom's daughter is my ex, and I immediately, like, there's so many points that I need to hit on this episode, and let's just jump right in. So I think the main overarching thing that I really want to discuss is, you know, both Irito and YUME are in a, or MIZUTO, I'll use their first names. Both MIZUTO and YUME, they're in a really hard spot. And part of me, I take two sides of this coin. The first thing that three sides. There's three sides. There's the only two sides to a coin, but there's a third. There's a second coin. Okay, and I know I'm kind of starting all over the place, but let me start with this. Let me start with this exact thought here. I love the anime. I love the interaction between MIZUTO and between YUME. I love the interactions between Kawanami and between Manami. I think it's fantastic. It's entertaining, and I laughed effing hard this episode like 2 or 3 times, and I'll talk about those moments in just a little while. But I absolutely love the anime. Part of me wants to just completely just turn my brain off and just watch the anime, not take anything really seriously, not take the storyline or the plot seriously. The opposite side of me, and I know a lot of you, you know, especially the ones who come, you know, to the channel like brand new, you're like, you know, why does this dude why does he keep honing in on this one specific thing about an anime? And that's really what we're here to do as people who are on YouTube, reviewers. If I was a blogger or if I was a writer for like Anime News Network or something, reviewing each episode, this is the work that would be done in those things, kind of dissecting and picking apart certain parts that happen in the episode. So the reason that I wanted to kind of start with that, and I kind of was all over the place, is the main thing that they keep kind of like honing in and dialing in on is the fact that Yume and Irito are stuck with each other. Yume and MIZUTO are stuck with each other. And towards the end of the episode, you know, they discussed a part of, hey, do you think Uni and MIZUTO's dad are going to divorce? And MIZUTO's like, no, we're going to be stuck as siblings forever. And they're like annoying, and that sucks. Because, you know, obviously they're in love with each other. You know, no matter what the end of the day, no matter if it didn't start that way, no matter if when they were originally boyfriend, girlfriend, if they weren't truly in love, they were just kind of like in lust, finding each other in those moments. And obviously it didn't work. But now the fact is they're in love with each other. And what that means is they're really stuck, and I mean extremely stuck, in between a rock and a hard place. Because on one side of the coin, you have the fact that their parents are happy, their parents found each other. We found out this episode that Miniaki, or MIZUTO's dad, was basically a widow for long enough that MIZUTO doesn't remember his mom. So you have to assume that he was under 5, maybe even younger when his mom passed away. So that means his dad was a single dude for a long time. I don't know Uni's side, which is Yume's mom. I don't know her side of the story just yet. I'm sure we'll cover that later. But you have to assume maybe she was single for a while too. And, when it comes to people, older folks, you know, especially, I'm going to put myself in that bucket of older folks, you know, being lonely and being alone is hard. So if you find somebody that's that special, and in their cases, that special again, you're not going to let that go. So their parents, like, they're pretty much like they're there. So their unique situation is the fact, like, they don't need to fuck it up. Like, that's pretty much the end. Like, they cannot fuck it up. So no matter how much they're in love with each other, they kind of just have to suck it up and just realize, like, their love, yes, forbidden, can never be, because they would be ruining their parents' lives. And at the end of the day, what sucks is they had their chance in middle school. You know, they're barely in high school now. At the end of the day, like, you're, you know, through your life, no matter if you're in Japan or here, whatever, you're going to date and, be with multiple people, like, and sometimes an exorbitant amount, but most of the times, you know, you're going to make a few wrong decisions first. And the reality is Yume and MIZUTO may not even be right for each other. They may be in love with each other in this specific moment, but they're so young. Like, at the end of the day, like, they can love somebody else. They can find somebody else, you know? So at some point, they're just going to have to make peace with the fact that, you know, their love just can't be. and they're gonna have to date other people. That's really what it's gonna take, is them needing to get into some kind of serious relationship with somebody else. But they both kind of have to do it, because if one does it, the other one's gonna be kind of looking from afar, kind of thing, and that can really fuck up their relationships. And at the end of the day, them drifting apart and not being close might kind of be the solution. Now, I know it's a little bit harsh, in terms of like the other side of it, which, like I was saying earlier, is just kind of turning my brain off and just watching the anime, enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I love the banter. I love the stuff. You know what I mean? This episode, I thought they talked about, MIZUTO talked about going into like a love hotel. I don't know why his first suggestion wasn't going over to a friend's house, but instead he brought up the love hotel stuff. Like, I really enjoy all that. I think it's really cute. It's fun. It's playful. Their parents are almost non-existent, but then they bring you back in with like the Mother's Day stuff, and it kind of does this back and forth juggling. Now, where I said earlier is I kind of like lost my stuff a little bit. Like, I thought it was hilarious. I love the family diner stuff. I love that YUME had this misconception about family diners, that you have to make some kind of like weird concoction of a drink at the fountain drinks. Like, she made some gross drink and MIZUTO fell for it, and immediately 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 and Kawanami were just like, yo, what the F is that? Like, they both don't have any familial diner experience whatsoever. So I thought that was funny. The next part that I hell laughed at is when Kawanami was trying to, talk about Yume's boobs and stuff, and their walls are very thin because they both stayed at those friends' homes who are neighbors, coincidentally. So that's why they're so close. That's why they're sweethearts, childhood sweethearts, all that stuff. So he made a joke about the boobs, and Yume lost her stuff. So to get back at him, MIZUTO tied homie up and read like one of his papers, like what he wanted to be when he was. So he was like, Kawanami, the future of Kawanami is to be a cop, is to get married to Manami and take care of her forever. And it was like the funniest crap ever. Like, I was dying of laughter. Like, I thought it was really funny. So overall, my enjoyment of the anime, it's like I'm enjoying the anime a lot. My only issue is when it asks you as a viewer to kind of like take it seriously for just a moment in like the plot that is trying to tell you, which is the fact that their main hurdle is the fact that their parents are married and they have this forbidden love. Sure, can they get together and can they, be together, intimate, all of that? Can they do it under the roof of their parents? Sure. If they were to get together that way, what would their parents think? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it can work. They're just introducing a really awkward situation for their parents, who have been probably lonely. Like, they've been in a lonely situation for almost as long as these kids have been alive. And to take that away, or potentially take that away from your parents, or put them in a situation to where they have to, again, because your parents are always going to put you first. That's just the end of the day. Your parents are always going to put you first. So to put these two people in a situation to where them getting divorced for their children's happiness might be an option, you don't want to do that to your parents. I think that's the most effed up thing you could do. But let me know what you think about the storyline. Let me know what you think about, kind of like the overarching reality that the anime tries to convey. And then let me know what you think about just the silliness. And are you in the middle? Are you on the side of turn your brain off, just enjoy it, fun, romantic stuff? Or are you on the side of like serious and like taking it at face value? What side of the coin are you on, or do you fall somewhere in the middle? And there's no wrong answer to either of those things. Like, I'm enjoying it, and sometimes I find myself over here to the silly stuff, and sometimes I find myself over here of like, oh man, that really sucks. And, oftentimes I try and come at it from the middle. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.